We are back at it again with another premier matchup from this CSC Challenger Series brought to you by Partners Promoting Darts. William Stewart here of USA Darts Productions, joined by Sean Green of To The Point Streaming. It's a Division II King Seat match, Sean.
Oh man, absolutely. I cannot tell you how excited I am, like I am every match that we do, but this one's especially special. King seat match, the loser of this match, and I'm going to say this twice, is guaranteed at least $1,000. The loser is guaranteed at least $1,000. The winner of this match guaranteed $1,500 in the second place finish at least. I cannot wait. It's going to be so awesome, man.
Yeah, pretty good investment there to put in 100 and get 1,000 back guaranteed here for one of these two, 1,500 guaranteed for the other one. Possibility of going further than that and maybe get 2,500 here. So we're gonna see how this goes. Let's take a look at our bracket here. What do we say?
Absolutely, man. If you're looking at the top half there, you got your best friend in the world, Scott Hanish, taking on Steve McDowell. Um, what do you think about that one, buddy?
Yeah, Scott coming off of a good match versus John Bunnell. I kind of spoke with him just through text today. He's kind of felt like he had some good darts in hand tonight, so we're going to see how that goes. The winner of that match is going to pay Cody Drager. Sorry. Yeah, so Cody Drager waiting for the winner of Scott Hanish and Steve McDowell as we work our way to the bottom of this loser side. Billy Meyer and Brandon Meal playing this evening. What do you think there?
Yeah, Brandon, of course, coming off a big win against Jacob Mott from last week's stream. Um, we've seen him twice on the stream so far. He's thrown very well. One of the higher averages in this bracket for sure. So I think Billy is going to have his hands full, but I think Billy has a really good chance as well. It's going to be a real fun match. The winner will take on Tito Martinez from Texas. So that'll be a good matchup there. As we head on over to the winner's side, where we are currently at King Seat match, Brandon Westover, Dan Levine. What do you think, bud?
This is going to be a fantastic match. As we work on way over to our versus screen to take the tail of the tape, as they say. And this looks a little bit more lopsided than it is. I can guarantee you that, as the averages that we have through these first couple matches are really neck and neck. It's let's see, a 4.32 here for Dan Levine, and I've got a 4.37 for Brandon after a couple matches. So it doesn't get any closer than that.
Absolutely, man. 9 marks. You got 9 for Brandon Westover, 10 for Dan Levine. Dan Levine, of course, playing out of Woodchucks in Wisconsin for Midstate Amusement, throwing his Peter Wright Snakebite 18-gram darts. He's been playing for 15 years. And I think that this is going to be a conversation that we're going to have throughout the night here of the advantage of wisdom when it comes to darts, right? Because Brandon Westover playing out of Skybox in Kissimmee, Florida. Skybox, the place that I love so much because it introduced me to the great Nick Teixeira. Um, CNM darts, mystery bin darts. So he's throwing darts that he doesn't even know what they are. They're mystery bin darts. But he's been playing for 3.5 years total. So I guess my question for you, man, is who do you think has the advantage there when it comes to like length of time playing? I know the obvious answer is going to be the person who's been playing for longer, but do you think that that's actually true?
Not necessarily. I'm kind of one of those believers that, with practice comes wisdom. And, if Brandon's in this spot where he's in this Division Two, he's in there for a reason. So, Dan Levine's got got a match here, and I think it's going to be neck and neck. Those 15 years experience, yeah, it can play with some experience or some tactics that could, work out in his favor. But we'll see. This is going to be a really fantastic one. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely have a little bit more background information on Brandon Westover, but I'm going to wait for that while the match is going on to give you some more insight that I got from the man himself, Mr. Teixeira, Dominic Teixeira, who I have not been too kind to on the stream so far, but a very nice gentleman on the phone. So that's going to be awesome, man. I'm real excited to talk through some of those stories that he's told. Um, I'm also excited just to see how well Brandon's going to play because all I've heard is fantastic things about him. I think Dan's going to have his hands full, man.
Did you get Venmo to say that?
I did not actually.
I'm
Normally,
just kidding.
yes.
Well, here we go. These guys are getting ready. It looks like this should be a great matchup as this is Mr. Dan Levine's point of view here. And we do have Mr. Brandon Westover from Skybox as he's going to toe the Aki for our little three-dart countdown per se. The highest three darts here gets the start.
Absolutely, man. By the way, do you love this setup that he has there with the ropes on either side? Like,
I
stay the
did.
f away, man.
I saw the picture taken today, and it was going around on Facebook, and it was the setup that they got here with the reserve sign on the one side. And look at that; it doesn't get any closer. Dan
One,
Levine just missing out with a one pointer there.
I absolutely love what he did there, though. He shot at the bull in the last start because a tie doesn't really matter. So tried to hit that bullseye, which would have given him the start here, but instead Brandon Westover will get the start here in leg one, and we're off and running, man. You gotta love it.
Yeah, these guys aren't going to waste any time. I don't think tonight should be a pretty quick one. Here we go. Brandon Westover get the start. Look at this, starting on 19s.
Yeah, that's interesting, right? A little bit different. He must really like those as his go-to number, which is actually interesting because he shot at the 20s in the count up, but I think that was more just point wise, made more sense to do that. Do you think that's going to mess with Dan at all in his strategy as he just goes
Well, look at
all
that.
over the board?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, that could definitely throw you off guard there for a second when you're not used to somebody going on those 19s. But down the road, I could definitely see Dan throwing that strategy into his brain and kind of picking at it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So here's my first conversation I'm going to have with you. One of the first things that I thought of off the top of my head. So Brandon Westover has been playing for 3.5 years. This is probably his first time, uh, if I would have to guess, playing uh, on a stream for this amount of money, king seat. Do you think that that is going to add a little bit to how nervous he's going to be? Do you think that it's not going to matter to him? What do you think here, bud?
Um, Depends. I mean, depends how much he's been, you know, getting around on the dart scene. I don't know much about Brandon myself, so definitely, I I could definitely see here or in this next match if he wins this one. Yeah, you're gonna have some darts with some pressure no matter what you think because when you're playing for $2,500, I mean, eesh,
No,
every dart's
absolutely.
gonna have a little jitteriness to it.
Oh, for sure. I have to point this out of hilarity, but did you see that someone walked in front of Dan's board after he got done throwing that round?
I
Guess who's
did
not
not.
ever gonna have that happen? Brandon Westover.
That is certain. That is certain. Look at this roped off area. They got it nice and
I
tidy
love
for
it.
him.
I love
Shout
it.
out, shout out to the Skybox there. We'll give them a big shout out because I know they're watching. I know they got some supporters there. So
Oh yeah, Florida
big
has
shout
big
out there.
supporters, and honestly, when you think about this, Brandon Westover plays in Kissimmee, Florida, with Kenny Doyle, with Dominic DeShera, with Nick DeShera, the legend, with Brian Dennis. All those guys are in that area. Chrissy Grimmel. I mean, of course, you're going to get better quickly, right?
Yeah, you're gonna get better pretty quickly there when you're playing people of that caliber. Every single day. That's the thing about it. That whole Florida area, same with the Wisconsin area, littered with talent.
Yep.
Um, and these guys are not starting off as great as we've seen them play in this tournament so far. I mean, we got a 3-6 and a 3-6-7, but neck and neck so far as we kind of battle it out in this first leg.
Yeah, that's a good 7 mark there from Dan. I think that might calm him down a little bit here. But this is definitely a back and forth matchup here. Their averages are staying pretty same, and I didn't expect this type of play where they're throwing a little bit lower than their averages typically. But what I will say is when you're playing for king seat, it's just a little bit of a different beast, right? From every other week's matchup. Dan, of course, played on stream a couple weeks ago, but still, that's just something that might jump out a little bit as he tried to go for the double 19 to close it there after closing the 16s and 15s. Um, I could see Brandon kind of pointing a lot here, but I think that the dynamic here of it being a king seed is just going to make things more exciting, a little bit more scratch and claw, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be just neck and neck the whole way, as these averages have really been dang near identical. As listen to this, folks, is a 4.31, 4.33. Those are the two matches for Dan Levine. Over for Brandon Westover, 4.38, 4.34. So for for four legs or four matches of darts there between those two guys, really neck and neck every single match.
No, absolutely. And I think we're going to get the exact same thing tonight. I think it'll be a good battle back and forth as we're seeing right here, right? Now, that being said, I'm going to say this just because it's me, right? Dan Levine has shot at that double 19 twice. Now it's three times. That last time, at least, he went inside on that. But the first two times he missed on the outside. And he could have closed those 19s a long time ago and could be running quickly. But instead, Brandon gets a 7 mark there on the 19s. And the last possible chance to point probably for him because I think Dan closes no matter what here. Um, what do you think about that, man? I just like I know that like if you're a good player, you can be able to shoot anywhere, right? But
I'm really kind of surprised that he hasn't taken a stab to close those out a little bit sooner, because now he's taking them out, but he's still behind. I mean, in points. But Brandon there not getting the result he wanted to, going for the Bulls with that last dart because he's got to open up something. Because now Dan has the slight advantage because he just needs a triple and a single here,
right,
which
no, absolutely.
let's see
This
if he
is
does it. Two singles. There's a triple with the last dart. Big darts there. That puts him ahead by 15.
yeah, that was a good look there for sure. To get that close. So Brandon's gonna sit here at the Bulls. Misses the first, misses all three of them actually. So a 3.5 average for Brandon here in this first leg, a 4.45 for Dan Levine. So early advantage here to Dan a little bit.
Yeah, just slide. It's been, but like we said, it's been back and forth, but Dan's just stepped his game up just that little bit, where Brandon's just kind of been that level at a 3.5, 3.6 this whole leg here.
Yeah, there's a nice three bowl round there. Gives him a little bit of opportunity. Another guy just walked in front of Dan Levine's board, by the way. So
That may be a really, really tight bar they got at Woodchucks. That is a different bar than he was playing at with John Bunnell.
yep.
So a little bit different there, so a little bit different atmosphere. But I think this is actually his home bar, so maybe he's just used to a little bit tighter crowd.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
It doesn't look to be bothering him per se, that I've noticed.
No, for sure. Um, Looks like we got a lot of people joining us here on the stream. We really appreciate that. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit that notification button. We really appreciate all of you guys tuning in with us. Make sure to tell us where you're tuning in from. We always appreciate seeing that. Um, there you go. Demo Team 21. Walking in front of that board get you to the girls' bathroom. So
That's what I was wondering. It's got to be something, something
there's
there.
there's the information that we have been looking for. And I really am hoping that my phone is what's messing up on the stream and not the stream itself on Facebook. But um, yeah, someone says can't believe Dan is playing out front in the bar. So I don't really know. Interesting. That's I didn't know that there were options that he had there. It might be because of where the streaming setup is. Obviously.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yep.
that's got to be it. Where the streaming setup actually is.
Yeah, contrary to belief, we do not have every single board and every single bar that we stream from set up with these cameras, unfortunately.
Working on it though, working on it. Hopefully to be the case here.
Of course, man. So what was Dan's average there in that first leg?
4.34. So, um, kind of right in line with what he's been throwing this whole tournament. I mean, 4.31, 4.33 for an overall 4.32.
Yeah, I mean, if he stays consistently right there, uh, Brandon's gonna have to step up his game a little bit. Although Brandon has been averaging a 4.37 so far in this tournament, and so that might really help out a little bit. So we'll see.
And it's got some numbers to work with here. Is Dan not shooting what exactly he wanted to? As you kind of saw the grunt on his face there with his previous starts. Brandon taking advantage. Look at that 7 mark there.
Big 7 mark there for for Brandon Westover. So Brandon actually is a very avid CrossFit uh, CrossFitter. I don't know if that's the term that you use there. Uh, CrossFitter. So I will say this: he's probably one of the most best in shape dart players I've ever witnessed.
In that shape, huh? So that could definitely play a factor on the stamina side, as we've seen with Mr. Gerwin Price.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And honestly, it really does matter at the end of the day, especially in a race to 9, this long format. It can get tiring throwing all these darts. And actually, my first funny story from Mr. DeShera about Brandon, the first time that he played TOC, um, he was still doing CrossFit and all that stuff, but he actually told Mr. DeShera that it is the most tired he has ever felt at the end of TOC, with his arm being super sore, how many darts he threw, which is super crazy. And yeah,
Look at
steal my
this.
thunder, Nick.
Look at this. Dan throwing a 7 mark to go up in
Oh,
points. Big darts there.
what timing there! I
And
mean, crazy.
and yeah, you're certainly right about the TOC statement. I mean, when you're throwing for 5 days straight, for dang near all day, I mean, if you're going that distance, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it in your arm. You're gonna feel it in your back, your legs. You're gonna feel that.
I have to point this out because Ryan, Brandon's brother, have you ever been called the guest commentator before in the chat? I'm just the guest commentator. I love it. Ryan, I know about you too. I was trying to make Brandon feel good. Oh boy. All right. So Dan steps up here, just needs 3 bullseyes to close this thing out. And he is under pressure to hit them too. And
Oh
only
wow!
get 2. So Brandon now with a chance here to take this leg, make it 1-1. And this is the type of thing that might get him going a little bit more. Only averaging a 3.56 in this leg, and I think he was about that in the first leg. So this might be that moment where he gets going a little bit. Needs this dart, and he gets it. Big dart there. Shakes his head a little bit, but got the job done.
Yeah, throwing a 3.4 there, so just under what we're used to seeing from these guys. But take what you can get, win what you can. 1-1 match here.
And we are going strong here, ladies and gentlemen. 1-1. Dan Levine starting off this leg. It is a race to 9. We will have a break after game 7. It is all cricket. And our player advantage, if one of these players happens to be down by 3 or more, they will continue to go first until they get it within 2. Uh, Love that, man. It's been awesome. If you're just tuning in with us, this is the uh, King Seat match for the Division 2. I can't believe we're already here, man.
Yeah, it's been 4 weeks of action here. Doesn't feel like it, but it certainly has been 8 goes
No,
on the stream.
absolutely. So here's my next question for you. The winner of this will be, let me check here, as I am about to say, we'll be waiting 1, 2, 3. He will be playing 4 weeks from now in the finals.
That is something to say because that could put some strain if you're not used to that wait time. He's got to, whoever wins this has got to put in the work in that down period just to maintain form.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to find one of these, maybe even find one of these guys that it might be out of this tournament already, just to practice with on Tuesday nights at 8:30, just stay focused in it. Play a little race to 9, see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I do have to admit, I finally got the chat up and going. I was battling there for a little bit. I was trying to put it on my phone, but kept vanishing on me every time. So I finally got it up. Let's hear it, folks. Let's see where you're tuning in from.
Yeah, mine actually was struggling to get going a little bit too. So I think we're just gonna blame it on the chat.
We're just gonna blame it on how much we got going on that chat. So we appreciate you being here. When you flood it, it's gonna cause some stringing. So I guess that was we'll call that the factor there.
Oh
But
man,
Dan
sorry.
here with a triple 18 start with the second dart there. Opening it up though, has got the slight lead, 20 points here.
But as we just mentioned in the last leg, Brandon Westover now, um, although he's just looking at a table here, now throwing a 4.25. So he's starting to raise his average a little bit, and I think that first win might have settled him down a touch. So Brandon here is going to look at the 17s, try and point those bad boys as much as possible. Only a 2 mark though. So as I say it, his average does drop a touch. But again, we're expecting these averages to get well above 4 by the end of this, with both of them averaging well into the 4.3s throughout this tournament. One of the questions that we did receive pretty early on, from, I like to shout out someone, because I can't find it, asked, how do I get into this tournament? And boy, do I have an answer for you. I thought
Let's
someone
hear
would
it,
never
buddy.
ask me, man. This is like the best part of my job, besides getting to hang out with you guys and watch some great darts. So do you want to know how to become eligible to play in PPD Nationals in January, the TOC in October 2022, and the CSC Challenger Series?
Yes, I do.
Oh, well, players become eligible for those by playing in PPD leagues and daily remote tournaments, or DRTs. Leagues are starting daily. Get involved by going to dartstoc.com and checking out the map. The map will show any locations with G3 boards within the PPD system. We are always accepting new members, so if you're not seeing anything in your area, have your vendor contact us on our website. From there, players can sign up for leagues on the website. It doesn't take a ridiculous amount of games to be eligible either. Consistently playing one league a week will keep a player eligible for the PPD Nationals and other events in the future. Again, go to dartstoc.com to get signed up today. So
Man,
there
I got
you
to tell
go.
you, those DRTs are phenomenal. If you want to play, if you don't, you just kind of sign up when you want to. Go for it. Some fun stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I'm telling you right now, that all this has done to me is make me want to play a lot more of these PPD leagues and remote tournaments and all that stuff. There's so many so many benefits to doing that.
Yeah, it certainly is. Here, Dan's going to try to put this away. Just 3 bulls needed. There it is. Yeah, 4.10 there for Dan Levine.
Yep, and again, Brandon just throwing a 3.67. And I say just, that's way better than my averages would ever be. But in this type of format, in this king seat match, especially with him throwing a 4.37 average in this tournament so far, we're expecting better out of him. And I think it'll get there. I think it's just going to take a little time for him to settle into this.
Yeah, exactly. A little settle in job here. Well, Eric Holen from North Dakota. Joe Melton tuning in from Jefferson, Iowa. Christopher Martin, what's going on, sir? Thanks for tuning in. Chris Martz from Hartford, Wisconsin. Good stuff. Appreciate you guys tuning in.
Chevy asked, do they do single leagues? I do not believe so. With all of the online craziness that happens, I just don't think that they have the full capabilities to do those single leagues. But you never know what could happen in the future, right?
Exactly.
Carly Carly Griggs is tuning in from Sullivan, Missouri, which is hilarious because you made fun of Missouri like 3 weeks ago. uh,
Oshkosh, Wisconsin tuning in. Couple there. Good stuff.
if there's one thing that I've learned from watching these Wisconsin guys play is that Wisconsin shows up for their Wisconsin people. And
Oh, dude.
Dan Levine's one of those Wisconsin people playing in woodchucks for mid-state amusement. They show up in robes, man.
Yeah, I've kind of learned, just kind of streaming throughout this past week. As there's a big 9 mark for Dan Levine. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
I kind of learned that streaming this past year with USA Darts is the Dakotas. Both of those, really have a good turnout for darts. Wisconsin as well as Florida area, really just a hotbed for players. I mean, just really good stuff coming out of those states.
Gary Bloom tuning in with us from Wisconsin. Thank you for checking out our stream. We really appreciate that. Yeah, Dan Levine right now 2-1 up and throwing very well early on in this match. All right, I think I've been nice enough to you, buddy. It's prediction time.
You
It's been
had
way
to.
it's been way later.
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, this one I think this one is going to be the one that goes the distance if we see it here. And I think Dan's going to come. I'm going to pick Dan to go slightly ahead of Brandon.
I think right now, I think that's a great call. Um, it seems like Dan's just on a different level so far. That being said, these guys are on the same level, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that right now, as hot as Dan is throwing darts currently with a 5.5 average with only a 2 mark there that round to drop his 6 something average, that's going to be really tough to beat if he stays at that kind of level. And I'm pretty sure that he is more than capable of doing that. We've seen that so far in this tournament because we've streamed his match before. So none of this is super shocking. Man, those red ropes would do Dan wonders, though, with that ladies' bathroom right there.
Oh, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It's not like you can tell him, "Nah, sorry, can't go here." But look, Dan's dealing with it. He's saying, "Hey, whatever, it is what it is." He's probably dealt with it before. I mean, that's not an uncommon occurrence. I mean, when you want to play darts and your bar has a spot to put it, it may not be the best spot, but you got to put it somewhere. And he's making it work, and he's playing pretty well doing it. Look at this. Let's see what he does here.
I'm surprised he doesn't just close the
I
bowls
was
first.
I was just thinking the same thing. I'm surprised he didn't just try to go for a close out there and then worry about it down the road.
Yeah, because the only thing that can get tricky in this leg is if Brandon just keeps railing bullseyes like he's been doing so far. I don't like that strategy.
Yeah, he should have stayed there right on those bulls, kind of kept clacking on him, kind of just keep going on him, and hope for that point advantage, and then try to just outlast, and
Well, of course, Dan's just going to do that to the 18s and make it not matter what the strategy is right now.
yep, exactly.
Again, Brandon's just hovering in that mid 3.5, 3.6 range, and Dan is just right now throwing at a higher level. I mean, and if Gary's correct here in the chat, he says Dan will just get stronger. So that's got to be a scary thing if you are Brandon in this position, down 3-1 now.
Well, we kind of saw
In
that
just a second, sorry.
in
I
the
didn't see
in
this.
the Bunnell match. He kind of kept getting a little bit stronger and stronger, and then was just able to overtake John Bunnell. So, but look, we're seeing Brandon here battle, really putting in some good stuff as he's got a slight advantage here. It's not very much. Let's see what Dan takes it out here. It looks like he will. Yep, he certainly does. 4.69. It's just getting better for Dan Levine.
It is so far. I will say, from my chats about Brandon, he is the ultimate competitor. It does not matter what he is doing. He's going to try and outdo it. Current world record holder for, I believe, burpees. Um, that's what Mr. Teixeira said. So he literally broke the world record for the amount of burpees in 24 hours done.
Are we talking
Um,
Guinness? We talking Guinness Book of World Record? What kind of world records we talking here?
the world record, like the
Oh
Guinness World
wow.
Record for burpees in 24 hours. He's also apparently ran just in one sitting 70 miles. Not for any specific purpose, just to do it.
I'm good on that. I'll sit right here and I like talking darts. That's fine with me. Not necessarily running or anything like that. So I'm good from this seat. Good on you, Brandon.
No, I listen. I can't tell you how impressive that is coming from a person who's 290 pounds and probably couldn't run 30 yards, let alone 70 miles. Um, and
I
he's doing
couldn't.
all this, like I said, he's doing all this. He's only been playing for 3.5 years. He's married. He has some small kids. He does all of this stuff, and he has taken darts and just turned it into his uh, next big
Big thing.
competition.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it is usually you see these guys that have, just a little bit experience with darts or only a couple years experience playing, really performing well. And I mean, to even be in this division two is something to say, but you got to have some athleticism when you're doing that, and it just shows when you have that kind of background such as Brandon's.
No, absolutely, and it shows when you're that type of person that you just refuse to lose. You're just going to battle and battle and battle. It's just going to make you better and better, especially when you're playing with all these great players like Chrissy Grimmel, um, Brian Dennis, all those Division One guys that are going strong still. Um, I mean, it's only going to make someone better because they're going to hate losing to even those people who are well accomplished. It's going to be awesome to see kind of how this match unfolds because I really just don't see Brandon at any point in time, no matter how he's throwing, no matter what he's throwing. I know he's getting a little frustrated with his averages and all that, but uh, do not count him out in this. Uh, of course, Dan, the more seasoned veteran, obviously throwing higher quality darts currently. And if he keeps on this road, Brandon might not have a shot, even if Brandon does start picking it up a lot more. So this king seat, I'm excited, man. The way this is unraveling so far is going to make this such an interesting match.
Yeah, I think that Brandon though he's gotta buckle down here quickly because this can easily get out of hand here if he doesn't watch it. He's perfectly capable of keeping with Dan and playing those darts that Dan is, but he's got to do it early here. Is this going to extend the gap and it's going to get touchy? That's when you start getting in your own head.
Yeah, so here's my question now, right? So this player advantage where the player, if they're down three or more, gets a start until they're down uh, two or less. Uh, does it actually give an advantage to Brandon when he starts on 19s?
Um, Not necessarily. I think Brandon's still got to produce the goods. You can't rely on your 19s if you're only hitting 4 19s or 5 19s. I mean, you've got to be producing, the overcoming outlier for those 20s. So, it's too easy for Dan to go up and hit a 7 mark, and then what was the point?
Right. No, absolutely. I'm just very curious. It almost is playing into Dan's favor with Brandon starting out on the 19s because Dan's just going to start on the 20s, you know?
Yeah.
Just an interesting observation to make. It might be something if I'm Brandon, I might think about that a little bit, even if I'm used to starting on 19s. It seems like that's just something that he does. Something that probably wouldn't shock anyone in the chat that is doing that.
AKA Mike Maloney saying no.
Now the question is, what was he saying no to exactly?
It's a never, ever, ever bad move.
I think you mean starting on the 19s instead of the 20s, right?
Yeah. I mean, you just got to have confidence with it. That's the thing. You got to produce the good numbers. I mean, if it's your move and you're more comfortable with it, just make the right shot and hit it. I mean, that's the outlier. You got to hit it.
Right. If you're going to start on the 19s in this type of level of play, you better be hitting 7 marks.
Yeah, he's saying starting on 19s is a bad move. So yeah, I mean that's the thing about it. It is a bad move. If you're gonna start there, you got to remember that guy who's coming behind you. If he's throwing at the 20s, he has the advantage. If he does the same thing you did, he has the advantage.
Right. Right. And
And I
uh,
didn't catch the match ever there as I was chit chatting there,
no,
but
it's all
it
right.
was a Dan Levine win, put it 4-1.
4.55.
Yep.
4.55. And it is 4-1 right now. And look at that. Brandon right away switches back to starting on 20s. And gets a 7 mark on the 20s to start off with. So as soon as we start saying that, um, I I applaud the move there. I think it was a good decision to switch. And as you can see, it I don't think Dan was expecting it.
Yeah. So a couple Division 1 players tuning in here. So Mike saying this is too high of a talent level to do that, and then Mark Rowe also saying hats off to Dan playing this well while dealing with the people. So a couple comments there from a couple quality shots in Division 1.
No, absolutely. And Mark Rowe, it was a pleasure to stream your match on Monday. I mean, what a tough opponent you faced, but you played very well. It just was a timing thing at the wrong time. All those 9 marks from both of you was just so impressive. Appreciate you tuning in.
16 night marks in that match. I mean,
I
what
mean,
more can you ask for there?
even still, just thinking about it now, it's just insane. And here comes Brandon Westover with a 6 mark there, throwing a 5.33 so far in this leg. So just a little bit off on Dan here, and Brandon taking full advantage of that. Um, so we might see a little shift here, at least in this leg, uh, of the score here. Look at that. He was blocked on the triple, went double. I like the move if you're blocked like that. It makes a lot more sense to me. So yeah, great darts there.
I saw Nick just shoot his head up in the background saying, "What did you just say? Double cricket. Oh my goodness, what?"
And I agreed with it.
Good shot there from Brandon Westovers. He's throwing a 5 mark. That's what we got to see from Brandon right here. A 5 mark per round to kind of get himself back in this, make this match 4-2. He's already lost the break per se because we do have that short break after leg 7. So Dan's already got the advantage going into that, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree with that completely. Sorry, I was checking out the chat there. Yeah, Alex said it is the live stream cam. That is why Dan is throwing at the board that he is. As Brandon does take that out with a 4.41 average, definitely his best leg so far. And that's going to be about where he's going to have to hover, maybe even a touch more to get back into this bad boy. But it is now 4-2, and if Brandon gets it to 4-3 going into the break, I think he'll feel pretty good about that with how he's been throwing so far.
Sorry, I just read the comment from Mark Rowe that said that was a lot of fun. Just for the record, I still gave him a ride home. I'm
I
surprised you just tell him to catch an Uber.
I am shocked that he still gave him a ride home, and a little bit sad.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Be like, you can Uber, bro. 9-4. I'll see you later.
Oh man, that's good stuff. Here's Dan. Step into the Aki here. Did he go right at the 19s? No.
Nope.
Look at this going over the 18s.
He's done that a couple of times where he's kind of moved around that 2018 19 with the 18 the second dart there.
I just
Um,
I don't know if I like that play with the way Brandon's been, attacking the 19s.
that's exactly what I was going to say. The only where it's playing with fire here is just that Brandon actually will start on 19s if given the opportunity. So you know that's his favorite number. But Dan's still holding that strategy as he does close the 19s there. And I guess if you're going to throw an 8 mark, it doesn't matter what you do.
He's just committed to his strategy. He said it doesn't matter what you're gonna do. I came here to play my game, get in this king seat match, or to win this king seat match and get into the king seat. That's what he wants to do. I mean, that's the nature of the beast. You want to be the winner, and he's going to try to do it.
Yeah, at this point, it's weird to say this, but you are playing right now to not play in 3 weeks and to play in 4 weeks. You want that guaranteed $1,500, not that guaranteed 1,000.
Yep.
Any way you can do that is better. As we see Brandon here, though, take a point lead. I
Just a
don't know if I
subtle
like the
one.
last start.
I don't know if I like that last start either. He's got to try to extend it as much as he can.
I'm not
See,
gonna sit. I'm not gonna sit there and like patronize and say like, is that lack of experience showing there on that last start? But it very well could be a little bit of just in that moment, not being able to control your decision making as much as a seasoned person might
yeah,
at
and
a nice 7 mark.
I think that Brandon's just gotta, you know, however this leg goes, going into the break, he's gotta kind of buckle down and he's gotta get the mentality of, all right, I need to guarantee a point lead now. I've got to have a significant point lead to do damage the rest of this match because he's got to turn it around here. And he's kind of turned it around already. He's throwing a 4.6. It's better than we saw those first 3 or 4 legs from him because he was in that 3-5 area the first couple legs there. But he's starting to make that shift.
No, absolutely. And I do want to point out how impressed I am with Dan Levine right now that he saw Brandon step up his game in the last leg, and he's like, fine, I'm just going to step up my game a little bit more as he's throwing a 4.71 currently and just really weathering. Oh, no. What a terrible break there. The first one straight in the middle of the trip 15. Second dart pulls out the trip 15 and doesn't register a single thing. Oh, that is a 3 mark on the floor there. That would have been a nice 9 mark to have. But he still gets that 1-point lead. But man, what a brutal time for that to happen.
Because that would have been a difference between a 1 point lead and a 46 point lead. And not saying that it's much, but it's certainly a little bit of a factor as he would have found himself still in the lead there.
It looks like Dan took it easy on him in that one. Only getting a 1 mark, I believe. So Brandon now a chance to fire in more points. He does add 60 points to his total. So we'll see kind of how this plays out. But I am very impressed with both these guys currently with how if one stepping up their game, the other one's just going to step up their game as well. As Dan went for another double there, does go inside. I'm okay with you shooting at double if you know for a fact you're going to miss on the inside because at least you're not wasting a dart. But Brandon needed at least a triple there and does not get it. So now opening up the door for Dan to just kind of have the
Finish it
ability to
out.
close this out. Yeah,
Yeah. We'll
he
see what
has
he
that
does here.
opening.
He goes for bulls first. I like that move.
I like that move too. I think that's the smart decision there because if you hit the 3 bowls with the 2 darts, it's an easy. It's over. You don't have to worry about anything else there.
And gonna try to chop it down. Not gonna be able to do much here. So Dan Levine looking to pop 2 bulls in here and head into the break with the 5-2 lead.
Absolutely. That
Single
first one
18.
blocks him into the 18. But he just
There it
moves
is.
over and closes it out with a 4.0. So all 5 legs that Dan has won has been above a 4 or above. But Brandon Westover, a 4.14 there. His average is going up. We are going to take a short break here. I am Sean Green from To The Point Streaming, joined by a legend in streaming, Mr. William Stewart from USA Darts. And we will be right back after the short break.
My name is Brandon Westover. I'm playing at a Skybox Sports Tavern, and I play for C&M Darts.
Fantastic, Brandon. How long have you been playing darts?
For about 3.5 years, would be 4 years. COVID took about 6 months of that, so 3.5 years.
3.5 years. All right, fantastic. Well, looking at you only playing for 3.5 years in the tournament so far, you're averaging a 4.37. Can you tell a little bit of strategy of like how you got to this point and like where you like just went from just starting to having this higher average?
Yeah, so in the very beginning, I mean, I started off pretty well at the beginning when I played compared to at least what most people told me. I got up to a three pretty quickly, and then that three went to a 3.5, quickly got better, probably was in the fours, and then COVID hit. Most of it was just practice, 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 and mostly soft tip, some steel tip here and there. COVID hit, and it wasn't a complete restart, but it felt like a restart. I was low threes. I started playing in the DPFL league to set me up for our steel tip state team, and that helped a lot because steel tip's more frustrating for me because I'm not near as good at it. So it forced me to keep practicing, and then constant, practice preparing for the nationals that came up. And mostly, for me, it's mental. Most of my mistakes are getting too down on myself and just practice. I practice at home a lot, so highly recommend practicing.
Well, practice makes perfect, as they say. Now my question is for you, as someone that's played with you before. I played with you. I've also had the unfortunate pleasure of playing against you because you're definitely terrifying on the dartboard some days. Um, what is your like mindset? Like when you go into a game, you play heavy on the points. You really kind of dig deep. And I've seen you do it several times to me and other people. Can you talk a little bit about your strategy when it comes to cricket?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously I favor cricket. I'm not a huge O1 fan just because cricket has a lot of strategy where I can adjust your game based off of my strategy, and you never lose if you're ahead in points. But most of the time, I'm assuming I'm playing someone to my caliber. So if I'm playing someone to my caliber, if I know they're a four average or higher, then I know they can probably hit a nine mark at any point. I don't necessarily need to be a nine mark ahead, but I don't want them to be able to catch up within two darts. So I'm generally trying to make sure that I'm ahead at all times, so I don't necessarily have a lot of pressure on myself. And I watch a lot of darts, so you can learn a lot from that. I watch folks that are really good, like if you watch the Division One CSC,
Mhm.
just watch how they play. Right, the majority of them are doing similar things. If I'm playing a lower caliber player, you might see me move around the board a lot more. Or if I'm just not having a lot of luck, I will change my strategy. But for the most part, it works, so I don't usually change it up.
That's fantastic. Now going into the CSC bracket here, you had your first round match, which you had a bye, jumped right into the Battle of the Brandons. You had Brandon Neal, Brandon Westover, and from what I talked about with Brandon Neal, he said you played like a monster. How are you feeling after that, coming off that match, and then also your match against Cody Drager?
Yeah, so the Brandon one was a perfect setup. I had a bye, and then I had nationals leading into that, so played really good national singles and won that. Didn't play great, but played good enough. Doubles and triples played pretty poorly, which worked out well. You actually put me out in the triples, so
I
there
did. That was me. So
so that actually was great for me. That got me to work on my mental game, which was where I was lacking. And I got to see Brandon. I had a little bit of advantage. I got to see him ahead of time, so I kind of got to see the caliber of play he played. So I felt confident that we were very evenly matched. And I just went into that game being confident. I just played to have fun. Thought, I'm kind of free rolling here anyway. The tournament was a great thing put on by PPD. So if I lost, it wasn't really losing anything. It was just for fun. And I played my darts. We went back and forth. But we had several games that we rounded out. And these games were in fives and sixes. So
yeah.
it was definitely a battle.
Oh, a lot of battling for sure. And you're very competitive at that. I remember seeing you at TOC and you were in Beast mode, the Be West mode. And you were just like a machine on the board. Now, speaking of you being like a machine, we have to talk about what's going on in the background there. I see you pushing a car. I know you have Fitness Me with Coach B. Can you tell people a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, so Fittest Me, a lot of the stuff I started on the side. I have a normal job, but I do that stuff on the side where primarily I'm helping people lose weight. That's a lot of people have trouble losing weight. I'm sure there's lots of darters out there that have the same problems, and I started helping a lot of people lose weight, and that's doing easy things, being able to eat what you really enjoy and not changing your lifestyle. So I don't necessarily tell people you got to give up alcohol or give up food here and there. So no such thing as cheat meal. So we work with people to teach them how to do it themselves. So I help them for 90 days, and they're set for life. So it brings a lot of general joy for me because I love fitness. So yeah, I've helped a lot of people already, and just will continue doing it on the side.
That's fantastic. I know that there's definitely not a lot of crossover from personal health coaches to dart players, but it's definitely glad to see someone breaking up the monotony of it all. Going back into the CSC, I guess really like one last question I have for you about it is if you get to that final, you win that $2,500. What are you doing, and why are you spending it on gym equipment?
It won't be that. My kids, I have two young children, a 9 and a 10-year-old, and my wife. So they pretty much already claimed whatever I've already guaranteed myself. So vacation won out. Video games for them was like a close second, but winter vacation was what won out.
There we go. And anything you want to say to your friends, family, fans, anybody that's going to be watching on the stream?
I mean, I hope you watch. There's a lot of players out there people who just never play, even like, my normal life, whether it's work or fitness, and just never played darts and be surprised to like how fun it can be. It's a great night out. You can have fun. So I hope I have a good match, put on a good show. I know Dan's a great dart thrower, so just have fun and see where it goes.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you the best of luck, Brandon, and have fun on the stream.
Thank you, sir. My name is Brandon Westover, and you're watching the CSC Challenger Series.
I'm Dan Levine. I shoot out of Woodchuck's Bar and Grill in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and I shoot for Mid-State Amusement devices.
Fantastic. Well, I am excited to have you back on here, Dan. It's been a few weeks since the last time we chatted. Now, we're just going to jump right into talking about this bracket, right? So, we watched you play John Bonnell on stream, and it was a really good match on both ends. You guys are good friends, and it was fun to watch. But you got through that. Now, what happened with your match with Tito Martinez there? Can you talk a little bit about that for people that didn't get a chance to see it?
It was pretty much about the exact same. It was kind of back and forth. It was I'd win one, he'd win one, he'd win two, I'd win two. I think it was like 3-3 all the way to like 7-7, and then I happened to win the last two to squeak it out. But he shot very well, and I just happened to hit a couple key rounds that got me some good games. But he shot amazing, and I think we both shot above our average.
Oh, yeah. I mean, looking at the averages, right? Like, you're averaging for the CSC a 4.32, which is phenomenal shooting. And going into your match on the stream, you're actually going against Brandon Westover, which is averaging 4.37. I believe he's the only one that has a higher average than you, and just barely at that.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I looked at the stats and seen that he was doing very well, too, yeah.
So what's your mindset going into this match? Like, how do you feel knowing that the winner of this gets into that king seat?
I don't know. The winner is going to be sitting good, but going to have 4 or 5 weeks off. So it'll be a nice long break. Going into the match, I'm hoping just to keep doing what I'm doing and hopefully pull out a couple close games and just squeak through it. So I know it's going to take me shooting better than what I've been doing. So.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, you have been doing great so far, and the averages being so close, I know we're in for a real barnyard burner, as the commentators like to say. So, I mean, that's fantastic. Now, so seeing that you're having a couple wins in this winter side bracket here, and knowing how much money is online, what advice do you have to somebody for the next CSC, for example, on their first time playing in this? What it's like, how you feel, and keeping your headspace sound.
Main thing is just keeping your head level, knowing that even if you're on camera or not on camera, don't let it bother you. It's a long match. Getting to 9 wins usually isn't going to take you 9 or 10 games. It's going to take you roughly almost sometimes all 17, 18. So it's a long match. Just keep shooting your darts, keeping level-headed, and yeah, it's definitely worthwhile to get into the top 500 and then get your rating high enough to be into the top 48 to be in one of these brackets.
Well, that's fantastic, Dan. And is there anything else you want to say to anybody that's going to be watching? Anything that's on your mind, especially with all the people that will be tuning in for the king seat?
Nope. Just thank you for everybody that's tuning in. Obviously, big shout out again to Woodchucks as they set up the board for me. They're always supporting me, and everybody else that's cheering me on.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you the best of luck, Dan, and we're looking forward to seeing you on the stream.
My name is Dan Levine, and you're watching the CSC Challenger Series.
All righty, well, we are back here with Dan Levine and Brandon Westover. Here with Dan Levine up 5-2 currently in this match. Throwing some good stuff here. Look at these averages here. 4.34, 4.10, 4.69, 4.55, and a 4.00 for Dan Levine in those 5 legs.
Yeah, he's throwing very, very, very solid darts. He had one leg where he was in the low threes, but that was when Brandon shot a 4.41. So other than that, he has definitely been the most dominant player here to start off this match. But as we saw in the interviews, Brandon Westover might come up with some creative ways to get back in this match. He likes cricket. He likes the strategy. He likes the fact that he can change up the strategy when he needs to, which is the type of thing that he's going to need to have in his wheelbarrow in order to get back into this thing.
Well, there we go. Kind of switching up a little bit. Brandon going at the 20s there, and unfortunately just coming out with a single mark. So we're going to see kind of how he starts playing here. If he's maybe kind of plays with a different strategy. It looks like he already changed things up, going to those 20s on top.
Yeah, and Dan fires out with a 7 mark right after the break, which is, I'm sure Brandon was not excited to see coming out of that after the 1 mark from himself. But he comes back with a 5 mark nicely. You can tell he definitely favors the bottom of the board, which there's a lot of players that do that. It just he needs to get it back.
Yeah, certainly needs to, but Dan's going to make it real tough. I mean, Dan's just stroking it at this point. He's really starting off this match after the break, or kind of set after the break, as we say, with a 6 marks per round here, leading us off.
Absolutely, and right now, Brandon's struggling out of the break here, as we just saw a lady run to the bathroom past Dan, which again is going to be interesting here. If someone's like standing there, like wanting to cross, and there's only 15 seconds left on that timer, and he's going to have to throw those darts, or else his turn gets skipped. So this will be kind of interesting to see. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but there's always that potential.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it just kind of depends on how used to people are, with things. Some people don't know the kind of courtesy that comes with throwing darts. So some people may just kind of nonchalantly walk in front thinking nothing of it, and it's going to be interesting. But Dan's really, really, really handling it well. I mean, I don't think I would be able to kind of deal with all that stuff in the background. It'd just be a little bit too much going on for me to stay focused on a race to 9 match. But he's really, really battling here and doing well.
No, I agree with that completely. And like the lady right there is talking, waving at the camera now. Hi. Thanks for saying hi to us. We really appreciate that. As Dan again waves someone past, more people come past him. Just as soon as we start talking about it a little bit more, it just gets busier and busier there. Talk about a premier level player to be able to just like throw all that aside and then just throw in a 9 mark here after
Look
waiting
at that.
for people to go past.
It's really impressive. And who knows, those could be all friends of Dan's, in the background, as we saw that lady, kind of wave. Those could be friends or whatever, just kind of mingling or whatever. Dan kind of knows them. Some people we may not, but I mean, like, it's impressive to see him throwing this well with that kind of atmosphere and stuff. Not saying it's bad, because, if they're cheering you on, it can be a good thing.
Yeah, especially in a remote tournament, to have people behind you cheering you on, keeping you hyped up. That's definitely a part of it. And if you go to a giant event like TOC, you are more than expected to just ignore all the distractions going on around you. But yeah, Robert Hallish checking in. Woodchucks has total respect for the dart shooters. Don't focus on that because he is awesome. So there you go. He just decides not to focus on that. And the lady who waved is the owner of Woodchuck. So shout out owner of Woodchucks. Thank you so
Good
much
stuff.
for that even more now. The one thing I will say is most of the people that are going past Dan are wearing Dart jerseys. So I think that does help, if that makes sense.
How many? Just out of curiosity factors, how many boards are in Woodchucks too? Since you guys are tuning in, just let us know. You know how many boards are
Yeah,
in play
absolutely.
there.
Absolutely. I know that there's a front room and a back room, right?
Yeah, and I
Uh,
think Skybox has off the top of your head, how much does Skybox have? I believe Skybox has at least 4.
Skybox has 6 that are across the like first little part, I believe, and then there's 4 others on the other side. So they have 10 total. That 4 others on the other side, though, from where Brandon is currently. Usually there's tables in front of there and stuff, but they will clear those out for some bigger events. But that's what I remember is 6 boards that kind of line up. That line that Brandon's standing at runs across the whole thing, and I love that line so much because it's right on like a little like indent down into the floor. It's a little bit awkward your first time going there because it's not like the dart line itself doesn't like have things that you can like line up where you're stepping the exact same every time. So that's just an interesting little thing about Skybox, but the atmosphere in there is fantastic.
And just needing the some points here, and then a 15. Choosing to point up real quick because we got so Skybox has 11 boards, and then we got 4 boards, 1 in the front, 3 in the back there at Woodchuck. So nice little
I cannot tell you how impressed I am by how many people commented 4.
Oh
Just-
yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, dang, there's a flood of people in here. That's what I was saying. We don't know, just seeing out of the screen how many people are actually, supporting Dan, how many people are just in the bar alone. But there's been a significant amount of people, involved, which it could be a very, very busy night there. It looks like it. He's got a lot of supporters here.
Love it. And then apparently I was wrong. Skybox does have 11 boards. I believe there's probably 7 that run across that main part, and then 4 that are over on the other side.
Look at this. I mean, we're kind of
Yeah.
talking here, and Brandon has put in a couple 7 marks as we're chatting here, really making this difficult on Dan when he's just needing 1 to close out those 15s, really. So it's really a back and forth battle here when Brandon has, needs to get some marks on the board, and he's doing just that, doing what he needs to do to try to get hit back into this match.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, Dan was locked in to shooting at points too because he only has 2 numbers open, and he's afraid that if he wastes one at closing the 15s, that he's going to be out of this if Brandon hits a 5 mark in the next round, right? So, or out of this leg at least. But Dan does also have bulls closed, so that's where this is going to be an interesting choice. I'm really a little bit surprised with the bulls closed as well that Dan is choosing to still sit there at points. But now this is going to be an interesting dart what he decides to do. He did go back to points. That's what I thought.
Yeah, go back to the points, try to get something on the board here. So Chris saying lots of people watching Dan. Alex saying Woodchucks is a big dart bar in Oshkosh, Wisconsin is a big dart community. So good stuff. That's what I knew Wisconsin area is just flooded with dart players. Same with, like I was saying, the North Dakota, South Dakota area, as well as Florida. So nice two states representing the soft tip community very well here.
Oh, absolutely. Um, I I'd kick myself. I didn't say that. Similar situation happens in Ohio and then also in Indiana. Big dart communities, Indianapolis, Indy area. Big dart communities in Ohio. In all of those areas of Ohio, it's kind of impressive as Dan does take out the leg finally of this battle. 4-1-3, 4-1-3, showing there for both guys. So
that was really, I mean, that was really an impressive leg from Brandon to really battle as well as he did there. I mean, he had a good, significant, probably 6-7 round battle there where you thought he was out of it, and he continued to try to fight. And he's going to have that mentality here, down 6-2, going to have the player advantage for a couple legs here.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely in this leg and definitely in the next one. So if he wins this leg, he will still go first. And same thing. No, not the same thing would happen in the next leg. But down 4 here at 6-2. And he starts off with a 7 mark, which is exactly where he needs to start off. That's been part of his issue with starts, is that he's not starting off as fast as he would like to. He's been throwing rounds a little bit like that, where it's been a 3 mark with a couple right there on the wire. But Dan currently now just in the driver's seat of this match so far, 6-2. I think that would shock a lot of people that know Brandon, but I don't think it shocks anyone in Wisconsin.
And, I'm starting to believe, I know that we saw Dan go at the 18s a good amount with John, but I'm starting to think that those 18s, I can see why he questions maybe moving to those 19s to take out it on Brandon, because his 18s are just really, really hot, instead of going down those 19s for Brandon.
Man, what dart 2 and dart 3 there for Brandon. The double 18, he's like riding right there on the wire, right? Double 18 to close the 18s, and then hits that trip 17 instead of going back to points, which is actually interesting because I listened into his interview here at the break for the first time, heard that he really likes having a point lead at any time that he can, yet he has kind of not done that strategy so far tonight.
Interesting point there. Yeah, you're kind of right. He's been kind of
like that,
taking his chances. Yeah.
Like he's been hero darting it a little bit more, and hero dart's a loose term for these guys, but he's been hero darting it a little bit more than I'm sure that he would have expected that he would do, or that his mindset going into it.
Mm-hmm. Well, over in the chat on Facebook, Robert's saying Wisconsin has the largest state dart tournament in the U.S. I do know there's a pretty big tournament going on in Plover, Wisconsin this weekend. Like Mr. Hilger, Steve Hilger, a.k.a. Porky's running that one. So if you're in the area, go check out that one. 5-star lanes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a bar we featured, actually, in
absolutely. It's
Jake
a bar
Schreiber.
we stream. Yep.
Yeah, Jake Schreiber.
That's a streaming bar. So check that out. Nice plug, bud. That was good.
Just remembered it off the dome. What do you say? Here we go, Dan. Throwing a 3-0 in this one. So kind of a little bit on the dull side here from what we've seen from Dan so far in this match. But you're going to have those legs where you kind of maybe drop off a little bit in form.
Yeah, and that's just going to happen. It's a race to 9, right? You're not going to throw 5s and 6s and high 4s this whole time. But Brandon Westover, his best leg so far, a 4.89. And he's going to have to stay at that level to dig himself back into this thing, because Dan's not going to throw those legs very often. And in fact, the last time that this happened, which I believe was leg 3, Dan went right back and just fired in like beautiful darts. And speaking of beautiful darts, how about a white horse here to start off for Brandon Westover? Wow, and actually went 18s instead of 17s with that third dart too. He's kind of feeling out his own game here, and that 9 mark, first one of the night for him, could not have come at a better time in this 6-3 match.
Yeah, I still think it's a little interesting not going for maybe a point move, but yeah, can't complain about a white horse anytime you get it. So good stuff there for Brandon. He's going to work on these 19s now for sure.
He did not. He got the point lead with 1, closed the 17s, and then went to 16s.
Wow.
He is doing the exact opposite strategy of what he talked about in his interview, which is just interesting to me.
Maybe taking a little bit of a, thinking to himself, hey, I got to do something drastic here. I got to change the tide. That's what's going to happen, and that's what he's going to try to do here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Seth Shade, my good friend from Nowheresville, Indiana, with their one traffic light. Indiana State Darts Tournament is next weekend. Can't wait to be in Fort Wayne. And guess what, buddy? To the Point streaming that event. So please stop over at the booth, say hi, introduce yourself. Love to chat with you a little bit.
Is that steel tip, soft tip?
It is soft tip. That is our soft tip. IAMOA State Championships.
Cool.
It's that big one. couple years ago before COVID, I think there were 12,000 people at that tournament. It
Jeez.
was insane. It was insane, man.
Well, that will be fun for sure. I know I'll be at Seacoast next weekend for Steel Tip WDF Gold event. So winner's going to be going to the lakeside as Brandon Westover produces a good leg there.
6'4".
Yeah, 6'4". And you saw Dan give him the old clap of approval there as he knew that was a great leg from Brandon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that is the stuff that B West beast mode, as our good friend Mr. Nick DeShare would say, for Brandon. That was that right there. And that is something that Brandon is capable of doing whenever he gets the opportunity to. So Dan now 2 legs in a row, now still up 6-4, but Brandon's starting to climb back in this thing a little bit. And only a 1-mark start.
This is the opportunity for Brandon. Time is now.
And I like that the first start he shot the 19s, did not hit the triple, and he's like, all right, I'm just going to go back up to the 20s and at least get rid of those. He's playing a different strategy than most people would consider what you would do in like a master level event, but it's working right now because it's such a different strategy and because he's hitting a whole bunch of stuff too. When you're throwing like this, you can do whatever you want to do.
Exactly. I mean, there's a good 7 mark there from Brandon. 160-point lead.
Yeah, no, this is starting to turn into something here, right? As Dan again only gets a 3 mark. Brandon throwing lights out at a 6 mark currently, as there's another triple to close, and he is right there now, finding a little bit of a groove with a trip 17 as well.
This is what we've seen with this player kind of advantage here, being down by a little bit. Brandon took advantage there. 2 legs on the spin. Gonna try to reproduce it and get a third.
And the momentum has shifted a little bit, and that is about as close to a 9 mark as you can get without getting a 9 mark. A great 6 mark from Dan Levine, but Brandon right now currently is just showing his class on a dartboard. But there's that 1 mark that might hurt him a little bit.
I think that we're gonna see Dan attack these 18s here and get the point lead.
Man, those are all
two tough darts, and he knows it too. He's got to move just slightly. Oh,
yeah, he's been good at that, moving over the line and still hitting exactly what he's shooting at. That is an extra skill for a dart player, to be able to move and still hit that same target that you've been shooting at.
here we go. Dan Levine with the big 7 mark.
As Brandon steps up here, shooting at the 17s. He moved up to the 20 on the last start and hits a big trip 20 there. Again, favoring the bottom of the board, but realizing that it's not working for him and just throwing away that strategy, moving back up. It is, he's making some good moves there. All right. And Brandon steps up there. Hits just a 1 mark, though. So Dan now with a chance to get back in this bad boy.
Go. Right. Sorry about that. Take some care of some stuff in the background. My apologies. This is a good shooter out of Wisconsin tuning in. Garrett Wachowski. Quality shot there out of Wisconsin. Like I said, that pole Wisconsin is just littered with quality shots. Dan's going to try to close out these 15s here. No, going to point first, then go to the 15s. And back over? No, he stayed on those 15s. Single 10 with that last dart. So does kind of almost get to that 100-point lead. Just under it. Looks like a, 88-point lead.
Brandon with a nice 9 mark on the 10s. Unfortunately, that doesn't count. But just high on all 3 of those. It's tough to adjust on those 16s and 15s when that first start is high or low. That's one of those things that you can struggle with as a dart player just naturally, because that weight of that dart has to be just perfect that you're throwing there.
I think it's single 18 going for those Bulls here. Trying to make this a 6-5 match, but Dan Levine trying to one up it, go 7-4 here, putting him 2 away.
Yeah, he's throwing great darts at the right time here as he does close out that leg. A 3.82, that's his lowest winning leg so far, but it was enough to get the job done there and kind of change that momentum back a little bit. Very interesting to see there.
I think we are going to take a just a slight second here, as I think somebody's running off to the restroom real quick. Sometimes got to take care of the business, man. Sometimes every once in a while we understand that. So we kind of have a group chat that we kind of communicate on through with both these guys, and we just kind of got that update. So going to take care of some business real quick and then come back to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, if you look at these averages, guys, Dan says a 4.17. He's been averaging a 4.32 so far in this tournament, so he's raised that average up a little bit. Brandon Westover, same thing, a 3.76 if you round it up. He's throwing a 4.37 currently. Not quite up to that level so far tonight, but we've seen a 6.64 out of him, which is it's okay. That's a decent average for a leg. What do you think?
It's pretty impressive. He made a kind of a little run there, but Dan kind of taking that last leg to kind of end that run. So 7-4 match here as Dan Levine is ahead. Just needing the 2 legs to give him the win and hold the king seat in Division 2. So let's see what happens here as we kind of finish it off strong.
Yeah, this might be one of those things where Brandon might have a slight. This is going to sound really weird and maybe stupid, but Brandon might have a slight advantage being down here, because I think it might creep into Dan's head a little bit when he gets to 8 that he needs one more, and I could see these guys focusing on one leg at a time until it gets to about that point, and then that pressure might start to build a little bit. And if Brandon's throwing well in that situation, he might be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think Dan was in the situation last time with John Bunnell. I can't remember the score line on that. It's just been 1 or 2 streams too long for me. But, I mean, he was in that same spot, and he came out on top of that one. I think with a couple legs there back to back. So I don't think Dan's going to have any issues. I think that Brandon may get a leg or 2 here, but I see Dan finishing this off myself. But it's still early in this match. I mean, Brandon can really heat it up and put things together. We saw him do it a couple legs. He can do it on and rattle off 3 or 4 here, and then he's boom. It's a tie match.
No, absolutely. And again, his strategy is a touch different than what we've seen from any of the other CSC matches so far. Like even with that last round there, that first start, he shot the trip 20, it missed into the 1. Most darters would immediately just go and point that second and third dart, but he stayed right there, hit that trip 20 with the second one, and then got the trip 19 on the third dart. So he is more than comfortable with how he's throwing right now, that where he's okay shooting at anything that he thinks that he knows he's going to hit right in this moment. And it's kind of a testament to how much class both these guys have as players, that they are just firing in big scores one after another, like that 6 mark there from Dan.
Big darts there. Doesn't give him the lead, but puts him down by just a little bit. 7 points to be exact, but it's going to be extended now with 2 trip 19s from Brandon. Oh, just outside of that triple. 7 mark there for Brandon Westover.
Yep, and this is where he likes to be, right? This is what he said in the interview is he likes to be about 100 points up. He doesn't want to have it where two darts can take back that point lead from him. He is in a comfortable position for him right now in this match currently. So let's see if he continues to play with that strategy. I could see him going 19 or 16s on the last start, and he did. But only a 1 mark there. Does not close out that 16. Definitely closes the 18s, though, so we'll see what Dan does.
Up with the triple with the last dart. Kind of a saving grace there for him. Coming up with the 4 mark, but still not all that Dan would have liked. As Brandon goes ahead and closes those out.
Yeah, absolutely. Just made easy work there to close out the 16s, and now Dan's going to look over the 15s and see how many he can hit here.
Gotta produce one here.
Only a
No,
1 mark.
unfortunate darts there for Dan.
Yeah, those both look right on the wire up and down. So, speaking of wires, look at that one. So Brandon's second dart gets in that single. He is more than capable and comfortable shooting at the doubles, even though I hate that strategy. He played it off perfectly, hits that double 15, closed that bad boy out too. So sitting in a comfortable spot here. Let's see what Dan's strategy choice is. At this level, I think you got to go bulls.
Yeah, you gotta go Bulls here. And just gonna come up with a single one here. Brandon's advantage to pick up this leg and make it 7-5.
Yeah, and he does that pretty handily there with even with the double ball in the last start. So a 3.89 there for Brandon, as they just kind of switched roles there from the previous leg with their averages, and it is 7-5 now, Dan. But Dan will start. That player advantage not taking control here. And let's see if Brandon can rattle off a couple in a row to put this back to anyone's game. So far, Dan has not let him get within 2 since the start. Or within 1.
Dan here 4 mark to start off with. And Brandon go with these 19s.
And a 7 mark there for Brandon Westover on the 19. So he's starting to. Usually the start of the legs is what tells me a lot about how he's going to throw in the leg. Every time he start off with a 7 mark or a 9 mark, he's ended up with averages in the 4s. And every time he start off with less than that, he's been throwing averages in the 3s. So we'll see if that continues here, but that's a good opening sign. That, however,
Unless you jinx him.
does not add to that strategy that I just talked about. Let's see what Dan does. See if he takes advantage here. He has so far. He's doing something different here.
Yeah, that was kind of a a questionable strategy there. I mean,
oh, look at that. Goes up and hits that double 20, and then goes back down to the 19s again. So Dan
doubles really. I mean, she's done it a couple times in this match.
I can't say anything about it because he's hit it every time. You know, like it's
exactly. I mean, that's the thing about it. He's hit it every time he's win at it. So you can't really tell him, no, sir, don't be doing that when you're hitting it every time.
Brandon likes the bot on the board, so these 17s are looking appealing to him. He gets 4 of them. But yeah, that's the one way to shut me up on doubles. Just hit him. If you hit him, I won't say anything anymore. Dan here, let's see what he does. He takes a pretty typical strategy there. Points the first two, and we'll look at the last dart. Does not get that triple, but a 5 mark there puts him still comfortably up. Both these guys throwing a 4.25 and a 4.4. So raising the averages just a little bit here in this leg. And we got ourselves a battle. They know how important this leg is. 8.5 looks so much different than 7.6.
Yeah, it does. Certainly does. Brandon can manage to get this leg here. It'll be interesting because that one leg there, the tide can turn quickly.
Absolutely. I think we're about to see these next couple minutes here in this entire match are probably going to dictate how this match turns a little bit. Is Brandon going to have a shot to get back in this thing, or is Dan going to take control here? Like I said, these next 2 minutes are going to tell us a lot about this match. See what Brandon can do here on the 16s. He needs a lot of them. It's a
Does
good
manage to
start.
get that triple, yeah. No, just the 4. Really thought he was due for at least a 5 to 7 mark there. I thought that last triple may have a chance of going in, but
Oh, look at that. Oh, that would have been a dagger dart on the 15s if he would have hit it. But Brandon's still with a little bit of an opportunity here. A 9 mark here puts him in control. Needs at least a 5 mark, though. He does get that 5 mark. Still down 1 point, but it's manageable.
manageable. But I wonder if Dan's just going to go right at it here and try to take out those 2. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And point
1,
the
2.
last point, big dart there. That is exactly what he needed in that round. Could not have asked for a better way for that round to go. And Brandon only gets the 1 mark there on the Bulls. So Dan with free range here to take control, make it 8-5. Only 1 leg away in this race to 9 from victory, and the king seat would be his with a guarantee
Wow.
of $1,500 as he makes it 8-5. And I'm telling you right now that's going to be that shift here. I think that
What a big last start with that double bull, too. I mean, you're right. This could be the shift here. And I mean, Dan just needing 1 leg here to secure a spot in the finals.
in the finals going for $2.5 thousand. $2,500 to first place here, with a minimum of $1,500 being won in this tournament. The loser of this match guaranteed still $1,000 at least. I mean,
That's some
$100 buy-in. Whew!
Daddy needs a new pair of shoes right there.
Unless you're Brandon, because then the kids need a new pair of shoes.
That is the truth. That is the truth. Got to worry about them kiddos every once in a while.
All right, so Brandon back up against the wall here, and just right away, 6.0 to start off in the first 2 rounds. So we'll see if this dictates something a little bit for him here to take control. He does like the bottom of the board a little bit more than the top, so that's why he shot at the 17s instead of going to the 18s and trying to shut down Dan's ability to point. We'll see what type of effect that has on it, though.
Try to get a 4 mark here. Does on the 18s. Finds himself down by 41, though. Let's see what Brandon's got in the tank. Gonna try to cancel out these 18s. Again, a double hit on the 18s to close them out. Big darts.
I'm actually shocked at how consistently he is hitting that double. Every time he has shot at it, I believe, except for maybe once, he has hit that thing. And that is impressive.
It certainly is. I mean, And there's one thing that's going for him tonight. If it was 501 and the doubles would be rocking for him, but sadly that is not the case, but still producing those crucial doubles when he needs to.
Absolutely. And Missy chiming in. Dan and Ashley have a baby on the way. Congratulations to you two.
Oh, wow.
So baby needs a new pair of diapers is going to be where that money's going for Dan.
Lots of diapers.
Yeah, and send some over my way, bud, because I'll need some too.
We're both in that boat, I believe. Oh, man. Here we go. Brandon going to close. Yep, close out the 16s. Has a subtle lead, 15-point lead over Dan. Dan going to go with these 15s here, try to regain.
Yep, and this is one of those situations where he does not get the point lead there, but Brandon's playing with a little bit of fire, not pointing a little bit more. But he's taking advantage of that. There's the points. He didn't point a whole lot there, but I think one extra 19 would have gotten an extra bowl out of that. So I'm surprised he didn't stay there for that.
This is the bowl with the last dart to try to get something opened up.
Yep, so Brandon here with free range to go at the 20s. And, or not the 20s, the bowls. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, but say, there you go, yeah.
Yeah, I guess he can shoot at the 20s. It won't help him any.
Really, that's all we got left here. I mean, Dan's going to try to produce something and just struggling here on these bowls. There's a double.
Yeah, gets that double in the last dart, but Brandon now just one dart away from making this an 8-6 match. One more there will do it, and he does a 3-7-8 in that leg. So not quite as big as we've seen from these guys so far tonight, but whatever gets the leg done, gets the leg done. It is now 8-6. And Dan will go first here.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about it. And sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good, man.
You talk about the struggle. I said struggle on those bulls. It's not that it's a struggle. It's just that you've been playing. I mean, you look here. You got 14 legs of darts underneath your belt, and they're cricket darts. It's not just a 12 to 15 dart leg. It is a really, a lot more than that. You're playing a lot of darts, and you're throwing a lot of darts tonight. So, when you get to the nitty gritty part of the match, a big bull can be a kind of hard to hit here and there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think what you're trying to say there, as we get a 9 mark there from Brandon Westover, I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but boom goes the dynamite.
I knew we were bound for one this evening.
I had to get one under my belt before we left. The fans have asked for it.
Oh, wow.
Apparently my fan Nick Teixeira was not asking for it. He just reminded me in the camera. Oh boy.
Man. Good stuff. Good stuff. You were due for one, and look at this. Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
You got to do it again. You got to do it again.
Boom, boom, boom goes the dynamite. 2 in a row, back to back, averaging a 9 so far in this leg. Back against the wall, 8-6. Oh my goodness, is he picking the right time to be West Beast mode? This thing on through. Oh. What a terrible dart.
And I'm just seeing a deal on my Facebook feed that said Brandon Neal 7-6 me.
There you go. So Brandon Neal with a slight advantage in his match.
Something that just popped across my Facebook notification as he went live.
Did you just see that? Dan threw the first dart, and then someone ran past him to the bathroom. He stepped back from the line and had to throw 2 more. And in a I can't stress this enough. He is one leg away from guaranteeing himself at least $1,500, and he has to deal with someone run right past him after he throws a dart.
Hey, you know what? He's been dealing with it though. He's playing like a. I mean, I'm impressed with Dan Levine. I really have been. I mean, I was kind of impressed a little bit after the John Bunnell match, but seeing him in action tonight is just really some good stuff. Throwing a 4.75 in this, and it's not like he's out of it with Brandon throwing a 7 after 2.9 marks.
No, this is still anyone's leg here, even with Brandon throwing a 7 mark here. Crazy. This is class darts right now at its finest, as he hits a nice triple 17 on the last dart too. Oh boy, we're seeing some darts flying now, boy. I don't know why I just said boy. That was weird. I got so excited I just said whatever came to my mind.
Good stuff. That's part of the task that you got to try to avoid every once in a while is just saying blabbering nonsense like I'm doing right now.
I appreciate you making me feel better with that. That was wonderful.
There you go.
That is good teamwork. For everyone listening right now, that is great teamwork. Making me feel a little better. I'm going to cry less tonight afterwards.
Look at this stuff. Here's Brandon Westover just needing 2 bulls, throwing a 6.17 currently in this leg here to make this an 8-7 match.
Oh
Oh!
no, he ruined his average.
Oh!
Sorry, that's what someone who's bad at darts would think.
Dan looking for 4 here.
He needs 6.
Sorry, 6. 6. Yeah, 6 here.
That's a good
There's
start.
the first.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious, he almost got it.
He thought he had it.
Oh my
He thought that was
God.
that. You see him giving the big fist pump. He thought that was it.
Dude, I'm doing the Cobra right now.
Wow.
I'm literally doing the Cobra motion that would be a meme. Like, that's where I'm at. He almost just hit 6 freaking bowls in that one last round to steal the match. And it is now 8-7. Dan will go first, but my goodness, what a leg of darts from both players, and especially there at the end from Dan.
Hey,
Wow.
Dan's taking a second here because I think he's got to calm himself down because I think Dan thought he hit that.
I think he did too. And
Because
we
saw
thought he
how
did.
the fist pump went there. I certainly think he thought he had that. So he's got to calm down here. Okay, great darts there.
Yeah.
After trying to take a breather and get a 5 mark, big stuff.
Wow, that is a major 5 mark. And I truly mean that. And Brandon responds with a 5 mark of his own. So, oh man, this is going to be a fantastic finish to this. This is the King Seat match, Division 2, race to 9. It is 8-7, Dan Levine. And winner of this guaranteed at least $1,500 from this tournament. The loser of this is guaranteed at least $1,000 and a 3rd place finish in this. So big, important leg here, obviously. And if it goes the distance, they will actually diddle for the start. So that will be an important thing that we have not seen before on the stream.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing about it is Brandon will give himself the opportunity if he can take this leg because it's anybody's game on that diddle.
Dan just handling the people around him like a champ there. Waves the person on through right before he throws because we've all dealt with the person that the dart bounces on the in your way on your board, and they sit there at their board and stare at you throwing in your peripheral vision. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's so much worse than them just going over and grabbing their dart real quick. I know from experience, dude, if you know what I mean.
This 4-0, 4-0 in this leg here. Anyone's leg at all. Big trip 18 with that last start from Dan.
I don't know if Sean McPeak's still on there, but thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Good friend of mine. I figured he was talking to you at first, but then I realized who it was. He was just trying to be nice to me, I think.
Two big trip 20s there. Or a big 6 mark there from Brandon Westover.
Yeah, these guys are battling hard, man. This is fun to watch. Let's see if he goes to the 17s here on the last start. What a huge dart this would be if he hits that trip 17.
He's going for it. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Just low on it. Brandon Westover stepping up here. I'm going to bring it up one more time. This CrossFit might help here because he's not going to be nearly as exhausted throwing this many darts, possibly as someone who does not do CrossFit. Even if Dan's in fantastic shape, he's not pulling cars and breaking world records for burpees. So,
I'll tell you what is interesting here is not only do we have a great match here going on, but I'm getting to see Nick in the background watching his Florida boy with excitement with every dart that goes in. Kind of makes it interesting in the background here. So nothing wrong. He's allowed to kind of cheer for somebody in the background, I guess.
oh man, that round might be the one that he thinks about. He went 15s to open up the 15s, missed the first two on the 2s. And if you would have hit that trip 18, it would have salvaged it, but only a single on the 18s. And now Dan, with a chance to run here, only gets 4 of them, though. So damage done, but not as much as could have been.
Yeah, it just needs the 16s here. Does he open them up? No, going 15s instead.
He needs another trip here. And he gets it.
Finds it. Big darts. 7 mark there. Gives him the subtle lead, 23 to 0-2. So a 21-point lead for Brandon Westover, and that is not going to be the case after this round from Dan Levine.
A big 7 mark to follow there from Dan. And these guys are battling. Dan is not going to give up this title or this match that easily. Brandon trying to fight himself back in this thing, showing a lot of grit, a lot of determination. Both these guys are. This is a great back and forth battle. The world record was for Murphs, not burpees.
I'm going to have to look at the difference on that one just because I'm not a CrossFitter, but I'm certainly impressed on both. I guarantee I will be.
It sounds awesome. Almost as awesome as that 7 mark that was just thrown there by Dan.
And to be a quality dart player at that, too. Look at him here. He's fighting every which way to try to get himself into this match as he's done after being a couple down. Certainly, I think he was, 6-2 at one point during this match. So,
yeah, and the pain of darts just showed right there, right? I mean, wires into the trip 2, wires it into the single 15, then wires into the single 15 again. But Dan only with a 3 mark there, so Brandon still just a 9 mark away from getting right back in this thing. 7 would be reasonable. He gets it. Still down 21 points, but see if Dan goes at the 15s now. Do you think he does?
no, he's going to try to extend that lead first, I think. Yeah, he's going to try to extend the lead first to guarantee a win here.
Yeah, they are pointing. Dan has taken that strategy of pointing, at least getting up enough to where even if Brandon throws in a 9 mark, or at least he has to throw in a 9 mark to get that point lead. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That wires right on the trip 10. That, talk about a big round that would have been.
What another quality shot from the Florida area. Meredith McGee Hale tuning in, say great shooting, guys.
Absolutely. Meredith, one of those players that averages almost a 4 from what I've heard, and it's just not
I'm sorry, we got another good
not
one
as
in the
well known.
chat. Ryan saying Nick had the world record for most Slurpees.
Ryan throwing in the dagger comment here at the end as we're trying to finish out this great match. The comment of the night right there.
Yeah, oh my goodness. I'm sorry.
Listen,
Ooh.
that's challenging. You have to worry about a brain freeze and stuff.
It's challenging looking at this chat every once in a while because you just laugh so hard. It's so nice having you guys involved in the background in these matches, but oh man, every once in
Absolutely.
a while it can be hard as a commentator. Dan setting himself up nicely. He's going to try to get the 3 bulls here, I think, and just walk away with this one 9-7. I mean, still, what a match here we've had.
Oh my goodness, this has been an absolute battle. They're throwing a 4-3-8 each right now. The fact that Dan went first right now is that difference. As he does try to shoot at the bulls for the win. Is he going to stay there on the last start? He does
No,
not, which
yeah.
is very smart.
That second dart was very difficult to work around as that was just above that double bull. There was no real chance of closing it out. So smart move to move.
Yep. Brandon does get the 2 bulls to close it, but Dan now with free range here. 3 darts to hit 2 bulls. It is likely that he does so. What an impressive match from both these players.
I mean, for Brandon to have the grit and determination being down 6-2 is really impressive. He battled every which way. After starting
There it
off a little
is.
struggle, it's going to be Dan Levine in the king seat match, or in the king seat
Wow.
spot.
Wow, wow, wow. What a match, man. How crazy would that have been if it would have ended on the 6 bulls? And the fact that Dan was able to calm down after that moment and immediately throw out a 5 mark there to start off that leg. Impressive darts from both these guys.
Well,
One of my
I
favorite
think
nights.
I think he certainly did the smart move, sitting there taking a second to kind of take a deep breath or two, because man, is that difficult to wrap your head around. Oh, I just won this match, to turn around and be like, oh crap, maybe I got to play 1 or 2 more legs and hopefully not lose this match now. So big difference there for Dan Levine, but he is going to be in the finals of this Division II CSC Challenger Series.
Absolutely, man. So he is guaranteed at least $1,500 in a second place finish in the CSC Challenger Series. He has to get double dipped in the finals too. Whereas Brandon Westover is going to wait 3 weeks before he plays in that third place match, where he is guaranteed at least $1,000 and a chance to battle back against Dan Levine. And I don't really know who's going to be that last person against Brandon in the third place match, but man, I would love to see another matchup between Brandon Westover and Dan Levine. That's for sure.
Yes, we see all these congratulations coming in and all these chats coming in from all our multiple platforms. Great match. Congrats to Dan. I mean, really, what more can you ask for? It was neck and neck. I mean, there at the beginning, we both those guys struggled just a little bit to get going. Dan started kicking it in, and then Brandon was quick to follow after being down by about 4. And man, I mean, it was just a great battle. I would have loved to have seen that go 8-8, because who knows what could have happened there with the diddle, but that's part of the arts. And, Brandon's going to have to work his way back around. Good mention on the double dip, because that certainly is a factor in the final.
Absolutely. Dan's sitting in that king seat, and that is a beautiful spot to be here in this CSC Challenger Series Division 2. It's going to be tough to beat him twice after what we've seen from him so far. Absolutely fantastic averages tonight. Most of his winning legs were above a 4, and some of them well above a 4. Brandon with the leg of the night, the 664, was insane. Darts, the back-to-back 9 darters that he had in that leg made me say boom, boom, boom goes the dynamite. Ridiculous. I was trying to avoid it the whole time.
Hey, but you got to do it after that one, throwing a couple impressive legs there for Brandon. But that's going to do it for us here on the Partners Promoting Darts pages. Thanks for tuning in here from William Stewart of USA Darts and Sean Green of To The Point Streaming. We'll see you next Monday for a Division I matchup, folks. 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Take care.
Have a good one, guys.